yeah. And we are very happy to present Heinz Krug, and we want to speak about the Yoga Sutras, and one specially. But before that, I want a little bit that Heinz tells a little bit about his way with the Yoga Sutras and why he translated this book, the brain software. We have it in German language and in English. The English one. So, like this. Okay, Heinz, please tell us a little bit about you, about your way, and why did you do the translation of that?
Yes, thank you for the interview, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And yes, I have a long background of meditation and yoga practice, yoga cities, and I came across a lot of different translations from Patañjalis Yoga Sutras, but none of them was really satisfying. So, and I really wanted to find out how these cities work. Yeah? So I needed a proper translation, and with my engineering background, you know, I always go into very much details, and then I finally decided I have to learn Sanskrit, and then studied Sanskrit for 5 years, so I could do a proper translation from the original. And that was really the intention, how it came about. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you one thing. What I always think about when there is a translation about such a stuff where you really need to have the experience, yeah. So there must be interpretations the way we are in that moment. The consciousness we have in that moment is important.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you don't have the experience, you don't know what you are translating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why what I saw with so many translations, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
If somebody mixes up the terms mind and consciousness, I know they haven't got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, there are so many different terms, and in Sanskrit it's all different words, and one has to really have the experience what that word means.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your experience, and then you can properly translate things.
Yeah, I agree to this. Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Yes, and we wanted to talk about one special sutra today. That's the Sutra 1.5 you mentioned before.
Okay.
Yeah. And especially we talked about that we want to find a way. How can we use the sutras in our daily life? How can we bring them into a daily life? What is really a hurry normally? For normal people, it's a hurry. There's not so much time, and not so much time about the reflection or about going deeper in that spiritual practice.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I called that book Brain Software. One of the reasons was to indicate that it is getting into that yoga state. Yoga is a state of your consciousness, yeah, of your brain software. And getting into that is like loading a new program in a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little time, yeah, and you have to do it right. Yeah, but it doesn't take forever or all your life. It takes a while, and then you activate it, and you have the new program there. So, I wanted to emphasize with that it can be done really quickly. Yeah? But you have to do it right, of course. Yeah? Like when you load a new app on your mobile phone, yeah, you have to press the right button so it loads. Yeah, and then you wait a little bit, yeah. And then it's loaded, and then you have the new possibilities on your whatever technical instrument, yeah. And it's the same with the brain. So you can keep your brain, yeah, So that's a very good start. And then you just load a different software on your brain.
Yeah. So we can say when there is a new software or in the process from one stage, like an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
So that we really have physically a process as well.
Yes. Yes.
In the brain.
Yes. There's something going on in the brain, yeah, because that new software has to be installed at the right places and all that, yeah. And then everything changes, yeah. Then all your experiences changes, yeah. All your perception changes, yeah. And you start to unfold these bigger and grander possibilities, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really new, in all those spiritual different organizations and all that. They all say, oh, it takes so long time and you have to do it our way. And we have always done it like that. And it takes so many years and all that. That's all nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
a good
agree with
business
that.
model, Yeah. I mean,
it's also a belief. It's another belief that it has to take so much time. And
yes. It's that belief, that sankalpa, that intention, yeah? If you go there with that intention, okay, I'll meditate for a life and then another 4 lifetimes and maybe then I'm enlightened, You will get it after 4 lifetimes. Yeah. So with your intention, okay, it's a software. Well, let's load the software. Let's experience the new possibilities. You'll get it.
Yes. And we were talking before that it is easy to say, and now maybe we can go to that sutra, to that point, what you mentioned before. Maybe we can read it and then we can see it seems to be easy. So, and then we see in the daily practice we have to do that.
Let me explain a bit. It's Sutra 1.5. Let me explain a bit what came before to give an introduction. Yeah. And before it came, what is the yoga state? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The yoga is a state of your brain software. Yeah, where you're completely calm. Yeah, while all this talking is going on and this thinking is going on. Yeah, but I'm completely calm. I'm just watching this happening right now. Yeah. So there's this mouse and that's speaking. Okay, fine. There's that thing that's thinking what to speak. Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's my brain computer working. Yeah, but I'm watching it. Yeah, that's not me. Yeah, that's this brain computer of Heinz is talking now. Yeah, okay, fine. Let the children play. Yeah. So there is a distance between me as the user of the brain computer and this brain computer. Yeah. Like when you use your mobile phone, you make a photograph with your mobile phone. You don't become the mobile phone. You use your mobile phone to do that. Yeah. And in the same way, we can use our brain software, and don't need to identify with every thought process there. Yeah. So that was the introduction before Sutra 1.5, and then it identified what are all these thought processes, these thinking processes. Yeah, and then it comes to it analyzes them, and then comes to we don't want to get involved in the thinking process. Yeah, before any word comes out of the mouth, it has to be thought in this brain. Yeah. So the thinking process has to be there, to be active, to be lively, to interact with the world. But as long as I'm not identified with the thinking process, it's all fine. When I feel like the user of this brain computer, I mean, I let this body do all these hand movements and mouse and all that, but I'm not that. And that is the yoga state, When you act like that in the world, you're in yoga. Yoga is a state, is a better situation of your brain software. And that's what really called yoga, union. Everything is one.
And this state of being, of oneness, is so we are out of identification with our body, with our thoughts, and there is another kind of perception what has nothing to do with the senses anymore. Yeah, it is over the senses as well.
Yeah, the senses are acting, yeah. So, I can see your picture, I can hear this, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I say I can, it's okay. It's these senses of this brain, connected to this brain. That's all working inside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm the observer of all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what really I am. Yeah. That's myself, the big self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people say, okay, you realize the big self. Yeah. And they don't notice that they make one fault by doing that. They push this big self far away from them. No, it's I. I am the big self.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a I little ego or something. Yeah. I am this cosmic self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watching this limited. That's who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. It is observing itself in action or in not action. So.
All the time, yeah. And then, so it starts with this, and then as this progresses, as this better brain software comes about, then I see that same self in you, yeah. So you are that self, I am that self, yeah. Everybody is that self.
Yeah.
And then I see it in things, this computer is myself, this screen, this keyboard, this book.
Yeah.
Everything, wherever my attention goes, it becomes myself.
Yeah.
And that is the highest version of the brain software.
Mm.
Yeah. To achieve that is the goal, yeah.
Yeah.
And not many lifetimes or something, yeah. That's the wrong intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the interesting point here is when a person has realized that state, that's the point when we really can change our behavior. Yeah, when we can really notice what I do to you, I do to me. No? What Jesus said, for example. No? And
why should I hurt myself? There's no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really matters to come to that point like an experience.
Yeah. It's a normal experience, When I see myself everywhere, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even think that I would do something wrong to anybody, because that's me.
Yeah.
That's one stage further than karma, where you think, it comes back to you. Yeah. You still have that duality. Mm. Yeah. But in unity, it's far beyond karma. Yeah. It's just the self everywhere.
Yeah. So then this is really very important, I think, for all of us to get to that knowledge like an experience, personal experience, and so that maybe helps us to create a new life, a new world together, understanding the whole one.
And it can be so quick, it can happen so quick. Yeah, there's a Vedic literature called Yoga Vasishta, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there are all these examples how people got into that in half an hour, in an hour, in half a day, yeah. Not lifetimes, yeah.
Yeah. So I think is one of the points I really want to invite you. So think about how far do you put your awakening, yeah? Because it's also the tradition has said, yes, it takes so many lives, no? And then we need to correct it to say when it happens now in this moment. Always happens in the present moment. So bring it in lifetime, bring it to you, bring it in this moment, can happen now, no?
It can only happen.
Yeah.
So, there's no possibility that it could happen at any other time than now.
Yeah. so please bring it here in this present moment. Be open that it happens now.
Yeah, yeah. So be open to that, yeah, and that is the intention, and that gets fulfilled. Your intention gets fulfilled, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's and this, this path of knowledge, yeah. That's this book and explaining all the Yoga Sutras. It's a path of knowledge. It's so quick, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so quick once enlightenment doesn't mean that you have to go through so many hours of meditation and count your mantras how often and all this. That's not enlightenment. Yeah. Enlightenment is immediate. And it's not through actions. It's not through doing this and doing that and doing that and getting rid of your bad karma and creating positive karma. No way. No way. Yeah. It could bring you into heaven. Yeah. But then when you're finished with heaven, then you have to start here again,
Yeah.
So all these positive actions, they bring you into a nicer plane, yeah, and a heavenly range, world and all that, yeah. And when your good actions are used up, and when you still have karma from bad actions, well, go down again and, get rid of your bad actions.
Yeah.
So karma, oh, complicated. Yeah. Get rid of all this. Yeah, it's just transcended completely. Yeah, and enlightenment is through insight, through cognition. You get it. Yeah, and then you have it. Yeah. It's not like it's an insight. It's a realization. Oh, that's what it is, and then it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, I have worked and I've thought the mantra 100,008 times, and no, nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds so easy, no? And we really want to invite you all. Yeah, it is not so complicated, and there are some things to remember, no?
Yeah.
And the Yoga Sutras also remember us. And when we go to that sutra 1.5, so it is talking about the thoughts, about the thinking, the positive thinking or the thinking that is bringing suffering, and the thinking what is positive, what is bringing joy.
Yeah. So I read that sutra now, 1.5. Yeah. It's in that book, right, 1.5. The thinking processes, and they're called vrittis in Sanskrit, are fivefold. So there are 5. And pain-inducing or non-pain-inducing. So there are 2 categories of thinking. Thinking that creates pain at some point, later or now, immediate, yeah, whenever. Yeah, or thinking that does not create pain. And, if you're intelligent, you want only non-pain-inducing thinking. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you want to suffer? It doesn't help for anything. Yeah. There's no need to suffer for enlightenment. There's no way you could get enlightened with suffering. Yeah, it's impossible. Once you're out of the suffering, yeah. So that starts with the thinking. So there are one kind of thinking that brings you out into the world, following the senses, going for longings, yeah. Going for, I want this, I want that, and I desperately want this and that, and then I don't get it, and then I get angry, and what a mess, yeah.
Yeah.
So that with longing or with hate or with ego, I'm this and I'm ego is identifying with that body and its friends and relatives and environment and house and career and all this. Yeah, that's all ego stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pain inducing. Yeah. It will never get fulfilled. Yeah. Never. Yeah.
And Heinz, can you give an advice, because we all know how difficult it is when there is when there are negative thoughts, when there is a problem maybe with a person or so that is like it's going round and round and round. So maybe we can say stop, yeah, or something when we notice. And the first point is always when we notice, hey, again and again, this is negative thinking. It's bringing more and more negative energy into my life. So what would you suggest? What can a person do in this moment, noticing I'm in that process?
Okay. There are several stages of what you can do. And all the yoga techniques are basically derived from one thing. And that is the difference between this brain computer and myself. That is the one magic technique that goes through all the Yoga Sutras up to the last Yoga Sutra, all the way. Yeah, and I've translated it now so we can better understand it today, in our modern language. It's the difference between the brain computer and the self, the cosmic real self.
Yeah.
And being aware of that changes your soft brain software such a way that automatically it has only not pain-inducing thoughts. Yeah, you know, useful, helpful, positive thoughts. Yeah. Now, for many people, things go on and on and on and on. Yeah. What do you do in that case? You know, at that beginning stage, the Yoga Sutras say you know that it's wrong thinking like that. Yeah. Somebody wants to hurt somebody else, things like that. They have done this and that, and take revenge and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all rubbish. Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
And then the Yoga Sutra recommend think an opposite thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think like if one would do that, this would create non-ending suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that helps you to get out of it. That's for the really rough thoughts initially,
Yeah.
And you get rid of that stuff. Yeah.
Just turn them around.
Huh?
Yeah. Just turn them around.
Yeah. And then as you know, okay, I give you an example. You know, this Heinz has a bit overweight. Yeah. So when he goes through the sweet section in the supermarket, he thinks now buying this is not good for your body. Yeah. And it's fine, you know, you can get through it. Yeah, opposite thought, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can apply that on all levels, yeah?
Yeah.
Because intuitively you know whether it's right or wrong. You know it already. Yeah? It still goes on, yeah? So, and then it says, one thing also the Yoga Sutra said, living this out, this thing, will not make it better. It will make it worse. Yeah. So you have to oppose it with an opposite thought. Yeah. Not straining or anything like that. Just having that other thought as well. Okay, and it cancels.
Yes. I think even if it sounds so easy or so simple, so when we think about creating a thought, now we can create a thought. When we said we create the opposite of the thought, yeah. But we must be aware of it, yeah. And I think in our daily life, we are not so much aware of the dimension of the words, yeah, the affectivity of the words, what it have in our system, in ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we talk to others. There is always a reaction in our system. Yes, so I think it's one of the very important things to remember. How do you speak to myself with friendly words, or I'm patient with myself, or I give myself support, or to the other as well, also to our children. Yeah, this is for me. This is really a very spiritual practice. Yeah, just observe the way we think, observe also the music you hear or the noises you are around. That all has an effect in our system.
You can do that, and the Yoga Sutras. I have translated that word chitta, which is a Sanskrit word, into brain software. Yeah? And we checked it out with my my colleague who wrote the book with me, we checked it out, that it's really the correct translation and it fits on all levels. Yeah? We are both computer scientists, and Gerd, my friend who wrote the book with me, he's an emeritus computer science professor. Yeah, and my background is I have invented computer chips, which are in every computer today. Yeah, so we really know that thing as well. Yeah, and we checked out that it's very accurate. The Yoga Sutras are very accurate. You know, the accuracy of computer software, really. Yeah. And so what we found is that is the right translation, and this main technique of the Yoga Sutras. Yeah. It's not so much to observe the thoughts. Yeah, it's that one, coming back to that, it's that distinction between what's going on here in the brain, physically, and yourself, observing that without interacting. Yeah, just being aware of it, having your attention on something. Yeah, like you look at something, you have your attention on it, you know, I look at the computer mouse, have the attention on it. And then while I have the attention, it becomes silent. If you don't become silent, you don't have your attention on it. Yeah. If you're jumping about this, that, you don't have your attention on that thing. Yeah. So having your attention on something means it has to get silent. Yeah. And as this gets silent, the more I'm aware of who is observing that. Yeah, there is all this thing going on there with the eyes and the brain and all this, yeah. But that's not me. I'm just back there, you know. I'm somewhere far away, yeah. Observing all this. Yeah. And that distinction, between the brain software, what's going on there physically, and who I am as an uninvolved observer of this. Yeah. That distinction brings about that higher state, that yoga state.
And in one of the sutras you talked about is 1.12. You also talked about the way we should do our exercise in a relaxed way. Yeah,
definitely. Very important.
This is a nice bridge to what you said before. Yeah.
Yeah, can I read it?
Yes, please.
1.12, by practice and serenity, which I think in Spanish is serenidad.
Serenidad, yeah.
Yeah. The calming of those vrittis is accomplished. Yeah, the calming of those thinking processes is accomplished. Yeah. So a practice alone doesn't do it. The attitude, how you do it, with easiness, easygoing, take it as it comes, that does it. Yeah. That's very important.
And the sutra also reminds us, yes, we need a regular practice. Yes, we need that. No?
That's useful, yes, yeah. Yes. And you know, if you have only 5 minutes a day, okay, start with 5 minutes a day, Yeah. And that attention thing, by the way, you can do all the time, Yeah. Yeah, whenever you focus on something, do it consciously that you really get to some silence while doing that. That's a practice already.
Yes, and it's a beautiful practice. My favorite practice is the tea practice, the tea ceremony practice. Is a practice.
I saw that video. Yes, yeah.
It's my favorite practice, and it really gave me the moment when stillness came over me by drinking tea. Yeah.
See?
Yes, because I trained so much the awareness in this practice, and someday it was there, and there was only stillness there. So it is still my favorite practice. So there can be so many practices in a relaxed way, in a repeated way. Yes. And but importance here, don't push yourself, don't do it with pressure. I would say do it with love. Yeah.
Yeah, if you push, the practice is not effective.
Yeah. That's a very important point in spiritual exercise. I think we need a certain capacity to concentrate, to focus on. But when we do that 5 minutes a day, when we start with 5 minutes, so you will love it. You will love it more and more, and
yeah,
and then you get your experience, and then you know why are you doing that and where to go. So the experience leads you to the next one.
Yeah. So that is one yoga practice, getting to that silence whenever you put your attention on something. Yeah, you can put your attention on nice things and it's a bit easier, Beautiful art, music, Whenever you do that, get to that silence in it. Get to that silence. Become that silent observer of all that's happening in this brain and in the senses, all the organs. And that's you observing all that going on, then that is yoga practice.
So I hope that all of you get a lot of inspiration. And I thank you so much, Heinz, that we had that nice interview with you, that you shared your knowledge, your wisdom with us. And I really highly recommend your book. I enjoyed very much reading, and it's a good guide, daily guide.
That's English. Oh, that's the other way around.
The German one, and hopefully we will have a Spanish one day as well. So
maybe if God wills. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening also. And namaste.
Namaste.